All right, so we're up to our video number 3 about chesed, chesed kindness. Okay, I don't need that actually. So this is from the book Da'at Nafshecha, Getting to Know Your Soul, from Rabbi Itamar Schwartz. He says about the section on chesed. Love has 3 layers in the soul. The outermost layer is chesed, kindness. The middle layer is ahava, love. And the innermost layer is echad, unity. So chesed, ahava, achdut, echad. Nefesh, ruach, neshama. It's the 3 levels. As we know, it is natural to give to someone you love. We understand that Chassid is the one who is going to be able to incorporate all those 3 levels. As we know, and also we saw the Chassidus, to become a Chassid, it's a few steps. There's Nikius, Precious, Chassidus, Anava, Yaschet. So there's a few things. So all those enables us to achieve those 3 layers of love. As we know, it is natural to give to someone you love. Sometimes it works the opposite way. As a result of giving, you start loving the person. Thus, either giving causes love or love causes giving. The physical act is one of giving, but its underlying feeling is love. Though there are other possibilities, such as giving out of compassion. Yet feeling love, chesed, is not the ultimate goal. It is a means for achieving something deeper, a sense of unity between the one who loves and the beloved. It's something very important to understand in terms of mitzvot and midos. We do mitzvot. The mitzvot is to be able to go into our midos and to expand our midos, to make them stronger. The mitzvah is the external act of chesed. We need to go internally to feel that chesed that becomes, integrate, so that you have integrity, and not to be a hypocrite. So that's like I say, you can do a lot of chesed out there. If you don't do chesed in your own home, then you're not good. It's a fake chesed, says the Chafetz Chaim. Okay, so there is no one who does not give to others in some way, and there is no one who does not love others, but the real goal of love is hidden. Many people are not even aware of the goal, and those who are do not necessarily achieve it. So, real chesed is the goal of creation. Our rabbis have taught that chesed is the beginning of the entire structure. We have begun learning about the 7 character traits, and chesed, ahava, is the root of them all. We see, it's like, if you want being balanced in emotions, if you want your emotions to be good, you need to have, it has to start with love. It has to start with chesed. That's why we start everything with the right hand, because it has to be chesed, with love. We see that in the pasuk, Chesed Olam Ibaneh, the simple meaning is that the world cannot survive unless people help each other. This is certainly true, but there is a deeper message there. As we know, Hashem created the world in order to bestow goodness on His creations. Thus, when we say that the world is built on kindness, we also mean that the world was created in order for the Creator to bestow kindness. On the other hand, the pasuk says, on that day Hashem will be one and His name will be one, implying that the goal of creation is the revelation of Hashem's oneness. Which is the goal? Kindness. So which one is the goal? Kindness or oneness? Olam Chesed Ibaneh, but that's only the root, the beginning, the source, in order to achieve Hashem Echad. In fact, one component to the other. Hashem's ultimate kindness is identical with the revelation of His unity, as the Sfarim teach us. So really, is to have the external of Hashem meaning seeing that the world, which is the external, the garment, is just a reflection of who Hashem is inside, so to speak. The same is true with us. There are people who, when asked what life is for, will answer, I live in order to give to others. There are such people who, while not otherwise religious, can sense that life is without meaning if they do not give to others. They have come to a realization that giving makes life meaningful. Although chesed is a precious quality, if it is only about giving, it is just one among many other good qualities, but not the root of them all. The real significance of chesed is its power of unifying the world into one cohesive entity. That's what it's about. That's that energy. When we say that the world is built on chesed, the idea is that it unifies the world. This is why it is the root of everything. The purpose of creation is to create a sense of unity. We achieve this by performing acts of kindness that are driven by the feeling of love. As we have said, kindness is the outer layer, further within is love, and unity is the innermost and the goal. So how do we do that? So we need to be conscious of your kindness. Practically speaking, most civilized people are involved in many acts of kindness. First of all, you should make yourself aware of all the acts of kindness you do. You might help a child cross the street and not even be aware of the kindness because you are too busy focusing on the action alone. It is not enough that if asked why you are doing it, you will respond that you are performing a chesed. You have to be conscious of what you are doing. The first step then is awareness of the chesed, especially the minor kindness of which you would not be otherwise aware. The next level is to contemplate. Why am I doing this chesed? Sometimes we are not even acting for the sake of chesed. A neighbor might knock on your door asking to borrow some sugar, and the only reason you give it to her is that she will help you if you have a need in the future. So that's not true chesed. This has nothing to do with chesed. It is like buying food in a supermarket and paying for it. The payment is not chesed, it is a transaction. Likewise, we see in the Gemara that if one does a favor with the understanding that he will receive a favor in return, it is considered a transaction, not a kindness, not a chesed. And that's from Baba Metzia, 81a. Many acts look like chesed, but actually it's opposite, since the giver expects something in return. So a chassid is someone who always does things because he's aware that's the chesed and it's not attached to any ulterior motive, like we saw. When is a kind act a chesed? Even an act of kindness done with no expectation of reward might not be chesed. If someone sees a child who needs help crossing the street and he helps, he does not necessarily do so out of love. He merely had compassion on a boy who was waiting in the heat for such a long time, so he feels bad. This is rachamim, which is also a wonderful trait, but it is not chesed. So an act of giving is not chesed, unless there is some love in it. The chesed is the garment, the vessel, but I need to put love in it. Either an expression of existing love or the intent, even if I don't feel actual love, at least the intent to bring love, more love into the world, connection to the child. So it has to be a conscious, has a goal. And it has to have a goal and it has a soul, a kavana. If it is to receive something in return or because of a feeling of compassion, it is not chesed. The problem with mechanical acts of kindness, of chesed, even when an act is performed truly out of love, it is important to consciously focus on the love. A mother may be doing acts of kindness for her children, such as cooking, doing laundry and cleaning, but not be aware that she's giving and certainly not be focused on the love. What is lost when we are not aware of our actions? So what is lost? The first problem is that we end up acting like a robot with no self-awareness. A deeper problem is that we do not properly develop the faculties of the soul. Which is the midos, the spheros. So it's just the outside. But the most serious problem is that the giving will not accomplish the unity that it can. There's no balance, there's no love, there's no purpose in the mitzvah, there's no direction, no kavanah, no soul. So since the love is not awakened in the process, the midah is not activated, so therefore my act becomes just a shell. It's empty, it's not activated. How often do parents give to children or spouses to each other and the recipient do not even appreciate that they have received something? It is not necessarily just the fault of the recipient. Often the giver was simply not aware of the giving and the love. If we will focus on the giving and the love when giving a material thing, we would at the same time be giving love. The recipient will sense that, as it says, as water reflects a face, so does the heart respond to another person. So Mishlei. That's beautiful. When as water reflects a face, so does heart respond to another person. So you will feel the love of the person reflected. When you do a kind act, ask yourself, am I doing this out of love? You need to ask yourself, okay, I'm going to do a mitzvah. Am I doing this mitzvah out of love? I'm doing this chesed out of love. Am I doing, right? So, the Gemara says, the wicked Turnus Rufus, as Rabbi Akiva in Baba Basra 10a. If God loves the poor, why doesn't He support them? Rabbi Akiva answered, so that He will have merit through them. Meaning that although we give for the purpose of fulfilling their needs, we must grow from the process of giving as well. Why did Hashem make the world in a way that people need to give things to each other? Why couldn't He just take care of everyone directly? The answer, as we just learned, is that the purpose was not solely for each person to have his needs provided, but so that the items that pass hands will bond people together. There are people who give. It's the choice of connecting. You can just be loved right away, or you get a chance to choose and develop that love, to acquire that love, that earn that love. That's the whole thing of Hashem and our creation and the marriage. There are people who give to others all day, but their hearts remain like stone. They understand that life is for giving and devote their lives to it, but do they really feel love for the people they are giving to? So you can also do something in a religious way. You can be doing mitzvot. Yeah, you do mitzvot. I'm created for doing mitzvot, but they don't accomplish anything because they're not connected to why am I doing all those mitzvahs for? What's the goal? What's the purpose? They're not connected to their inner emotional and feelings and soul spheros and midos, and therefore it becomes just a lot of giving on the outside, just acting, but it's not bringing the soul into it, so people are not changed by it, and you're not changed really by it. When you help a child cross the street, are you building any love? Usually not. Even a generous person who is free of the problem of stinginess might not have even begun to truly open his heart to others. A practical suggestion. This is my practical suggestion. Do 3 small acts of giving a day for someone in your life. The best place to start is with your spouse and then with your children. Of course, your children should later extend further, but home is where you should start. You cannot start with strangers. While you are giving to them, think for a moment about what motivates you to give and what the purpose is. If you don't yet feel that you are motivated by already existing love, at least have in mind that the goal of giving is to foster love. You can use, meaning that the shelo lishma means that I don't feel the love, but my goal is to give love. That's you can use the many acts of giving that you already do to build the world of love within. And if you receive a gift from someone, you should focus on the love you have received, not just the gift. Love, appreciation, akarat hatov. Akara, you recognize the tov. The tov is good, the light, the energy, this from Hashem. The bonding possible through that thing. Love is sometimes like according to the laws of Nida, understanding that giving is not just giving. It's the power to be aware of the power that someone giving you something can create love, and with your spouse it has to be sensed all the time. So when you're nida, you separate and you cannot give to each other, you're reminded that when I give to my wife, it has to be always done with love, with intent of love and connection and unity, not just like I give to someone, another woman. Love is sometimes stronger and sometimes weaker, as we know, two people can start out loving each other, but may eventually separate due to differences of opinions and or personality. So when can love be permanent? When it is a love not dependent on anything. Lishma. In a deeper sense, love is permanent when two become one. An individual who is emotionally healthy will naturally love himself. So more balanced we are, the more emotionally balanced, the more we love ourselves. That love isn't dependent on anything. I love myself because I'm alive, and because why not? Because I sense there's a good here in there. So too, for the love to reach its full potential, it must go further than ordinary love and become oneness. Fulfilling that potential requires a high level of awareness, not only in the mind but in the heart. To review what we have said, the first step is to give. The next level is to realize that you give because you are giving because of love. The final stage is to bring the love to a point where the one who loves and the beloved become one. At that stage, nothing can disturb it because it isn't dependent on anything. In a way, the reason of Shomer Negia, we're not touching another person because we want to understand that the power of touching should always be done with love, and any touch is an opportunity for love. It's a bonding, as we know in psychology. It's a need. We need love, and the touching is love. So whenever you touch, technically it infuses love. So Shomer Negia is meaning I'm protecting myself from just touching and become completely insensitive to it. I don't want my touching to be just random and like that. Yes, I have to love everyone, I have to give to everyone, but it can be misdirected and misplaced, and I want each time I touch that it is true love. So if I can give true love to everyone because it can go deeper. I cannot marry everyone. So instead I give without touching. And eventually, the one I touch is the one that I'm going to give complete love and complete dvekus, complete unity, and that's going to be permanent. And that's what will be the strongest. That's one's spouse and one's family. We see this type of permanence in a parent's love for a child. It is always there because of the nature of the relationship, but we aren't always aware of it. Rabbi Israel Salenter explained that they are both dominant and dormant forces in the mind. He gives an example of a relationship in which the father and son have feelings of hostility towards each other. So the father also has a dear student whom he loves very much. But if a fire would break out in the middle of the night and he's awakened, he will instinctively run to save his son first. Deep in the soul, there is a permanent feeling of unity, though he might often act out of consonance with that unity. This is unlike the current state of relationship between spouses, which can be and often are undone. In its pure form, marriage should also be permanent. Certainly, Adam could not have divorced Chava. Only after the sin, when death was decreed and they were destined to separate at some point, did they lose that degree of unity. And that's why he realized she was Chava, who she really was, when there was a disconnect. That's, oh wow, this is what we had. This is the unity we have. This is the powerful thing we can accomplish together. This is how great she is for me. This is how I can achieve true love. The greater and purer a person is, the greater is the bond he can have with other people. It is said that the holy Baal Shem Tov once told the father, I love each Jew more than you love your own only child. So he told a father, right? Unity through, so can you achieve like this? The more I love every Jew like I love my own child. That's a very high level of love. So much love. Unity throughout the world. This sense of unity should not remain only within the family. Hello, you have to love other people too. It should fill the entire world. From our perspective, this might seem like a distant dream. In our world, we don't see these kinds of relationships. And there isn't much trust between people. But that is the purpose of the world. We must prepare ourselves for the future, when Hashem will be one and His name will be one. The way to connect now to that level is through chesed. In the 3 stages we have described: awareness of the chesed, awareness and deepening of the love that you feel, and the understanding that we are essentially one. So action outside, feeling, this is awareness. So awareness of the action, emotional connection to the action, and true deep internal understanding that we are only essentially one, that is a unity with it. So roots spiritually, right? So tak, and then within the soul, in the kishkes, so to speak. Nowadays, a formal ceremony is required for marriage to take effect. But Adam Arishon needed to no act in order to marry Chava. When the parts are unified, there is no such things as giving between them, such as the right hand does not give to the left hand. We perfect the world. So last part, we perfect the world through kindness. The world is built on chesed, but that is only during. I want to say again, is nefesh, ruach, neshama, right? The three stages. Awareness of the chesed is nefesh, is the most external part. Ruach is the heart, the emotion, and neshama is when where you truly one. And that corresponds to bechol levavcha, bechol nafshecha, bechol meodecha. Meodecha is more the external action. Levavcha is the ruach, and nafshecha is the soul. It's a good reminder during Shema to have that. The world is built on chesed, but that is only during the building process. Once it reaches its desired state, chesed will no longer be needed to perfect the world, just as once a house is built, the builders are no longer needed. The Pasuk literally says the world will be built on chesed, olam chesed yibaneh, in the future tense. In the future tense. Not in the past tense, will be built on chesed, because now we must keep building the world through chesed, but it is only holds true as long as we feel separated from others. Once we will be one, there will no longer be a reason to give. We realize that we're all connected, right? Then we are all one, so you don't even to give. What's mine, what's yours, what's yours, sheli, shelach, shelach, shelach. We all take and give to each other. It's all one. If a relationship once we all be one, but then there'll be no such a thing as stealing or taking, or like we share everything. In a relationship between husband and wife, there must first be a period when they give to each other very often. But after that, they should approach a level of love where they are one, and they don't need to give to each other for the sake of the relationship. Nowadays, we cannot fully reach that level, but that is the goal to which we should aspire. And that is how you become a chassid, a lover of the love that exists. Can you be a lover of the love that exists, a lover for the giving, for that power, that energy, which is God, which is unity, which is love, which is chesed. So you have the external act of chesed, which is the mitzvah, and then that activates the chesed that is in you, which is in your heart, when you love the feelings, and that can activate the source of that midah, which is in your neshama, which is deep in the brain, in the pineal gland, where there is total unity. So may we all become true Hasidim, true lovers of the world and of everything. Become a crazy lover. That's what a Hasid is. He's crazy lover. You have machmir in loving. You're like super from on love, right? We're super from on mitzvah of tzitzit or Shabbos. Can you be fanatic on love? That's a Hasid. You're fanatic on love. Well, we don't want to be fanatic, but extreme a little bit extreme, because we have to counterbalance the whole sinah, right? We have to balance. There's so much hatred and all that we have to go to the other extreme, like the Rambam says, to be able to go back to the beginning. So you have to be like crazy, really. It's good to be a bit extreme at love. So may we achieve true, extreme, beautiful love to be rebalanced again and love the entire world. Love, we're right now like Black Lives Matter, this life matter. Love matters. That's only that matters. If you have love, that's all what that matters. Then you love. There's no need for colors or anything. You just have love, and that's it. Transcends everything. All right. Love you all.